The next question, we will start with Mr. Vaughn.
Do I get it?
Oh, yes, you do.
How about repeating the question, since I think we've drifted off?
How about repeating that question? Ladies and gentlemen, for our Vice Mayor, while the individual states make the decisions for a COPA, a Certificate of Public Advantage, for a hospital merger, should the mayor of Kingsport have a role with issues and decisions like the trauma level designations and neonatal intensive care units?
I think the answer is clearly yes. We need to have a role. We need to have relationships with the board, but we need to remember that it's a private corporation and that we need to work with those people. We need to try to convince them of the things that we think are important for our citizens, and we need to continue that relationship over the long haul. They are having to do what's necessary because both systems found themselves in very serious financial situations back in the early part of this decade, and move forward towards either selling their businesses or coming together. I think that the coming together was the best choice. Obviously, it's anytime you have a merger, it gets messy, and this one has been very messy. So I think that we continue to have to tell them things that we don't like, but we also have to have that relationship and continue to try to make sure that the best happens for our citizens through the hospital system. And we need to, I think, very much pray that they're going to be successful, because if they're not, I think where we're going is going to be very ugly.
Thank you. And now, Mr. Vaughn, you will have the first response to this question. Do you feel the purchase of the Regions Bank building was a cost-effective solution to the city's space and service needs? And what would you recommend doing with the present City Hall and the development and engineering buildings?
Those are all very detailed and involved issues. I think what we've got to do, again, as I say, with all of our priorities, we've got to sit down, make sure the people of this city understand the issues and they're on board. Whatever our decisions are, it's their money. And we need to be good stewards of anything we do on their behalf. Were these good decisions? I didn't sit down and evaluate all the issues. That's something I would do as mayor of Kingsport, but I trust our city leaders. I want to believe that they're making decisions that are in the best interest of all of us. But in the last 15 seconds, one thing I want to say is, folks, we can't let this campaign, this election, divide us. We got enough of that going on in our country. Let's not attack the candidates. Let's be supportive of them and what they're trying to do in representing all of us. Let's come together as a community. Let's not let anyone divide us.
I think the Regions Bank acquisition is a great idea. We can consolidate all departments of city government under one roof, and then we could use the old City Hall building to help out the community, help out the homeless. I think it's a wonderful move. Thank you.
I think it was a all right move because a lot of people work different buildings. They can't communicate that well with them all in one building. They can just go see each other or call. I think it's a good idea. The other buildings are just see about what we could do with them later on, renovate them into workable space for rental or something like that. That'd be something you'd have to study on.
I need to remind you that what drove this was ADA requirements who came in and said we had to spend mucho money on upgrading City Hall and the other buildings because they were not basically accessible for those that were disabled. We moved to that. We basically, Regions Bank was the best choice. It also has the advantage of bringing all of the city staff together in one place. It should improve communications. hopefully it will let us reduce our staffs, because one of the things I push on all the time is productivity, and we do a good job with that. So I think it's moving forward. The Region Bank is a good idea, and it's gonna be a great location, and it's gonna make, I think, the city government more efficient and responsible to the folks in the community.
Well, Mary Lee's question it indicates that there's events that have been set in motion that the incoming administration would be hard pressed to change. My concern is that eventually the other city buildings will be evacuated. They'll probably be put on the market at fire sale prices and depress the prices of all the value of all the property downtown. It points back to the deal where you have to have a good leader who's able to sift through and set priorities. It's gonna cost a lot of money to renovate the Regions Bank so that it becomes a city hall. And then, you know, we don't have some unlimited supply of money. We have to set priorities and devote them toward the place that the citizens need them the most, like fixing our roads and recruiting fire and police, things like that.